came in this business saying I was gonna expose.
That Snoop Dogg, not again, mentioned him in December of 2020, but everybody beat the hell out of me.
Hey, don't sit on the bed at night, no homo, just don't get close to the bed, don't get close, but it's just like, yo, we want to thank you for hosting the thing, man, it's been a pleasure. You didn't have to do it and you did it.
Million to unversion his whole.
Can you explain a little bit?
No, I just told.
Katt had been calling this out long before any receipts started surfacing, and now it's all falling into place. The man just walked right into the Netflix storm, and he's not biting his tongue for anyone. He's accusing 50 of protecting some serious industry powerhouses, making sure their faces never showed up in that final cut. This isn't just gossip, it's a direct hit aimed at the top of the food chain. No more cryptic clues. Katt's putting Hollywood and the music world on blast. Remember when he went off during that Club Shay Shay interview? That wasn't some random outburst for clicks. He was dropping coded warnings about this very scandal, and now the dots connect perfectly. Katt wasn't rambling, he was giving everyone a heads up before the storm hit. In this video, we're breaking down the 7 major names that got completely erased from the Netflix doc, like they were never even part of it. You're about to hear it straight from Katt himself, raw and unfiltered. We're diving deep into why these particular people got scrubbed out, how they're tied to Diddy, and what Netflix supposedly didn't want the public to see. This goes way beyond just celebrity drama. This is a cover-up with layers. Now, here's where things get even crazier. Rumors are flying that certain insiders tried to pay off 50 Cent to keep those names hidden. That's right, word on the street says big money was passed around to protect a few spotless reputations.
20 years, won't do an interview. Nobody's ever talked to her, and she's never been interviewed anywhere. And now, understand, I'm not talking about one person. What I just told you applies to 7 people. How they all end up with that. That's part of what you get. I came in this business saying I was gonna expose. When I talked about Michael Jackson, when I talked about R. Kelly, they canceled me for these things because why would you talk about another black dude? Race is not where the line is drawn. It's God's side and the other side. And we don't care nothing about the other side. Period. All of these big dick deviants is all catching hell in 2024. It's up for all of them. It don't matter if you Diddy or whoever you is. TG Jakes, any of them. All lies will be exposed. That's all. And anyone who takes that the wrong way, know why they take it the wrong way. The truth is the.
But Katt? He's too seasoned for that. He knows the game, the silence, the favors, and how power keeps the truth buried. Whether it's secret footage or carefully edited documentaries, some people stay untouchable behind their money and influence. Period. And before we even start breaking it all down, let's get one thing clear. This isn't about the usual suspects like Jay-Z or Beyonce. Everybody already knows how deep their ties run. We're talking about the unexpected names, the ones they worked overtime to keep out of sight. So let's rewind to early 2024 when Katt Williams stepped onto Club Shay Shay and basically predicted Diddy's downfall before it even began.
4 years. Say that again. But the shit's gonna send this. 4 years. Meanwhile, they tried to give me 4 years for 2 blunts I had no intention of smoking in the first place. Same 4 years. I don't give a fuck. Being an ass-kicking devil worshiper is not against the law. They put that man on a whole RICO because they thought he was for China. They said, bring out the 9 just walked out. That didn't even get the law, bro. I'm gonna get you out. That man like this so much as his punishment. They sent him to the place with the most science.
Katt didn't hold back an ounce. He said straight up that every hidden truth would come out in 2024, and look where we're standing now. He didn't flinch, didn't soften his words. He dropped names like TD Jakes, Diddy, and a few other serious power players. He said what he said, and now the whole industry's realizing that wasn't a rant. It was a full-blown warning shot. Fast forward to right now. 50 Cent has stormed into the spotlight with his explosive Netflix documentary, Diddy, The Reckoning, and things just went from hot to blazing. This isn't some soft, filtered project meant to play it safe. It's loaded with never-before-seen footage of Diddy in the days leading up to his arrest. We're talking late-night meetings, tense lawyer sit-downs, and private moments that'll have you staring at the screen like, did that really just happen? The moment Diddy's legal team caught wind of this, they lost it. They came out swinging with cease and desist letters fired straight at Netflix, claiming the footage was stolen and completely unauthorized. They even labeled the doc a shameful hit job, but Netflix didn't back down for a second. They dropped it anyway for the whole world to see. And just when you think it couldn't get more intense, here comes the real storm. Diddy's already looking at a possible 4-year prison sentence tied to a case involving illegal activity after barely dodging a huge racketeering charge. But that's only the beginning. This whole situation is just getting started. More than 150 lawsuits are reportedly stacking up against him, and federal agents are still digging deep, connecting dots and tracking down every hidden detail. But the feds even said it themselves. New charges could still drop, and this investigation's nowhere near finished. But here's the twist that's making everyone pay attention. The prosecutors on Diddy's case have now teamed up with the same crew that worked on Tupac's investigation.
Men, hey, don't do it. Okay? We all saw the movie Sinners. Don't let his here. So he can bite somebody. So he can bite Playboy Cardi again, okay? Playboy Cardi definitely been bit. Something happened. Playboy Cardi's been bit. I know he has. Nobody let Kanye in. No! Tonight I will do my part. Everybody will get flowers. I'll do my part to make sure that I put us on a high pedestal, man. Also, I'm gonna do my part. I'm shutting down the idea of after parties. No after parties tonight, okay? None. Take your home after this. That's why I did it on a Monday. I did it on a Monday. People got to go to work tomorrow. No after parties. That's where it's slippery at them after parties. Okay? We're learning a lot about people, ain't we? We're learning a lot. God is good all the time. Kurt, that makes it right. Whatever I just said goes away. Funny.
That move alone shows just how deep and complicated this web really is. This isn't some celebrity drama anymore. This is turning into a full-blown crime saga that's rewriting hip-hop history. But hold up, it gets even wilder. The whispers in Hollywood are saying there are tapes out there. Real ones, sitting in someone's vault, ready to explode online any second. And these tapes supposedly don't just show Diddy. They allegedly include other big-name stars caught in moments they never expected the public to see. No one's eager for that kind of exposure, but the rumors are growing louder every single day. Now let's bring Katt Williams back into the picture. The man who's been calling this out long before the rest of the world caught on. He's not ducking from the spotlight, he's standing right in the middle of it. Recently, he cracked a joke that had the crowd laughing, but once people listened closely, it hit different. It wasn't just a joke, it sounded like a confession wrapped in comedy. Katt's been sounding the alarm for years, dropping clues about who's involved, what really happened behind those closed doors, and who's been quietly shielded by power and money. So now, let's jump into the part everyone's waiting for. The 7 big names that somehow vanished from 50 Cent's Netflix doc. First up, Snoop Dogg. Yeah, that one's got people talking. There's real history there. Years of parties, business moves, collabs, and late-night hangs between Snoop and Diddy. They were close, no doubt about it. So here's the real question. Why didn't Snoop's name even make the cut? Well, Allie Carter might have already dropped the clue that explains it all, with C. And it's got people looking at Snoop in a whole new light. She didn't just say he was connected, she claimed he might have been moving with even more behind-the-scenes power than Diddy himself. According to her, Snoop's reach goes way beyond the music world, and his protection in the industry runs so deep it's almost untouchable. Allie first mentioned Snoop's name back in December 2020, and instead of people listening, they came for her hard. They labeled her a liar, tried to bury her story, and pushed her out of the spotlight completely. But she never backed down. She kept talking, kept warning, and kept bringing up details nobody wanted to touch. And here's the part most people missed. Snoop's name was quietly tied to some very serious accusations involving the alleged movement of young individuals for illegal purposes. Now that kind of claim should have made national news. news. There should have been questions, headlines, investigations, something. But what happened instead? Nothing but silence. Heavy, deafening silence. And then came the twist that shocked everyone. Instead of getting grilled by the media, Snoop Dogg ended up performing at the Super Bowl halftime show. That's right. While those serious whispers were still floating around, he stood center stage at one of the biggest shows in the country, smiling for millions of viewers. And think about it. This is the same culture that canceled Dr. Seuss books and even breakfast brands over far smaller issues, yet somehow Snoop stayed untouched. No major backlash, no public questioning, no follow-up investigations, just applause, sponsorships, and red carpets. Allie Carter even mentioned something eerie that most fans completely overlooked. She said the LVI letters at that halftime show looked like they were dripping in blood, but everybody was too busy eating wings, laughing with friends, and watching the spectacle to notice the dark imagery flashing right in front of them. So when you ask why 50 Cent might have erased Snoop from his Netflix doc, the answer feels pretty clear. Snoop's too powerful and too well protected. If 50 had included those clips or even hinted at those connections, the whole documentary might have been shut down before it ever streamed. In this business, some people are shielded by influence and silence. And Snoop, he looks like one of the most protected of them all. Next up, Kevin Hart. Now his situation, a whole different kind of chaos. He's been speaking on the Diddy situation, but every time he does, you can tell he's choosing his words very carefully. Back in the day, Kevin was rumored to be part of what insiders called Diddy's private puffy flavor camps. Those exclusive invite-only parties where the whispers say things went down that never made it to social media. Kevin was deep in that circle, and there's even that viral Frosted Flakes clip floating around that makes people think he knew exactly what was happening. But instead of calling anything out, he stayed quiet and played it smart. Then came that unforgettable BT Awards night. Kevin was hosting, and between the laughs and applause, he started slipping in jokes that made the crowd look twice. He joked, "That's where Ray gets slippery," followed by, "We learning a lot about people, ain't we?" Then he wrapped it up with, "God is good all the time." Sounds like standard comedy, right? But if you listen close, it felt like he was hinting at something much bigger. He even told everyone there'd be no after parties that night and purposely scheduled the show for a Monday so folks had to be at work the next morning. That wasn't coincidence. That was a move with meaning. And just when everyone thought the situation couldn't get any more unpredictable, Orlando Brown came charging into the conversation. Now people know Orlando for his wild takes, but this time, what he said made everybody pause. He claimed Kevin Hart was allegedly offered $50 million to do something he described as crossing a major line in the industry. Whether that's fact or just talk, one thing's for sure. Kevin Hart's been in the room with major power players, seen things up close, and learned how deep this industry game truly runs. Now you might be asking, so what's the real deal with Kevin? The truth's not even complicated. Kevin was around during Hollywood's wildest years. He's seen too much, maybe even got caught up in a few wild moments himself, but at this point, he's untouchable. His fame, his money, his global influence have built a shield around him. Pulling him into this kind of controversy wouldn't just affect one person, it would shake the entire comedy world, from Netflix specials to movie deals. And that's exactly why 50 Cent had to make the call to keep Kevin out of Diddy the Reckoning. It wasn't just about leaving one name off the list, it was about avoiding a firestorm that could burn through the whole entertainment industry. Protecting Kevin isn't just about protecting Kevin Hart, it's about protecting the brand, the studios, the networks, and every major company tied to his name. He's a walking empire, and dragging him into that documentary would have sent shockwaves through every corner of Hollywood. 50 knew that was one war he couldn't win, not against someone with that level of reach and influence. Now let's move over to Mace. And this one might be the most frustrating of them all. Back during the Bad Boy Records golden era, Mace wasn't just another rapper in Diddy's orbit. He was the guy. He was at the meetings, the parties, the studio sessions, all the key moments that built Diddy's empire from the ground up. If there's anyone who knows where all the secrets are buried, it's definitely Mace. Mace was front and center for everything that went down in the Bad Boy era. every deal, every party, every decision. But here's what's making everyone scratch their heads. He's gone completely silent. No interviews, no statements, no podcasts, not even a cryptic social post. And with everything that's surfaced about Diddy lately, that silence doesn't sound like peace. It sounds like strategy. Let's keep it real. It took Mace 10 long years just to escape his contract with Diddy. A whole decade of fighting for freedom, and when he finally got it, he didn't spill a single detail about what really happened behind closed doors. No tell-all interviews, no exposés, not even a slick lyric throwing shade. That's strange for someone who lived through the height of the bad boy empire firsthand. There's even this awkward moment from an old V103 radio interview that says more than words ever could. Diddy pulled up with dirty money and brought Mace along like it was some reunion moment, but the vibe was off. Diddy was grinning, saying, "Mace is free to work. He can do whatever he wants now," acting like everything was all love. But Mace's reaction told a different story. He looked uneasy, surprised, and almost too grateful, like he didn't even believe what was happening. Mace even said, "It took me 10 years to get this paperwork right here," then chuckled and added, "I ain't used to Puff doing good stuff." That laugh wasn't just nerves, it was disbelief. Think about that. After years of working side by side with Diddy, the man was shocked to finally get treated right. That one line exposed the tension better than any headline ever could. So why did 50 Cent cut Mace out of the Netflix doc completely? The answer feels obvious. Mace either doesn't want to talk or he can't. Maybe fear, maybe loyalty, maybe pressure. Whatever it is, that silence says everything. He was in the core of Diddy's empire. He knows where all the bodies are buried, figuratively speaking, yet he's been completely mute. And that kind of quiet, it's not random, it's calculated. Mace knows exactly what went down during those peak years. Every deal, every betrayal, every secret conversation. But now it feels like something heavy is keeping him quiet, like there's still a chain he hasn't broken, including him and Diddy. The reckoning would have raised too many questions. Like, why hasn't he spoken up? What's he protecting? Or worse, who's still protecting him? 50 probably realized that putting Mace in the dock would open a can of worms that could take the whole project off the rails. So he did what he had to. Kept Mace's name completely off the list. Now let's slide into Meek Mill's lane, and this one, straight up madness. Meek's been in Diddy's inner circle for years, rubbing shoulders with the elite and showing up at all the private events. His name's been circling in whispers for a long time. Nothing solid, but plenty of rumors that keep popping back up. And just when the noise started to fade, Orlando Brown jumped back into the conversation and dropped another wild comment that sent the internet spinning. Right after that, Meek Mill hopped online and said he'd pay someone $100,000 if they could prove he had any connection to Diddy's drama. That post alone had people's eyebrows hitting the ceiling. Like, hold up, if you're clean, why even say that? It came off defensive, and instead of shutting rumors down, it made folks even more curious about what he's really trying to distance himself from. The whole situation's got the internet buzzing, and with every new clip or comment, the mystery around Meek keeps getting deeper. And yeah, it might sound wild, but here's the thing. Orlando Brown has a history of calling people out, and believe it or not, he's actually been right a few times. Then suddenly, everything went from messy to straight up explosive when an audio clip started circulating online. The clip allegedly featured Meek Mill's voice, and people were convinced the second voice in the mix sounded exactly like P. Diddy himself. The recording was raw, shocking, and packed with scandal, the kind of thing that spreads fast. Within hours, it was all over social media. Reposts, reactions, debates, you name it. Then Jaguar Wright, who's been known for dropping bombshells about the entertainment world, jumped right in. She said she was 100% sure that was definitely Diddy's voice on that audio. She didn't hesitate, didn't second guess. She claimed it with total confidence. But just as fast as that clip exploded, it disappeared. Completely wiped. One moment it was trending everywhere, the next it was gone like it never existed. Every trace scrubbed off major platforms, re-uploads blocked, accounts flagged. It was like someone hit a digital reset button. That vanishing act alone made people even more suspicious, because when something disappears that quick, it usually means it hit too close to the truth. So why did 50 Cent leave Meek Mill out of the Netflix documentary? Simple. That clip was never officially verified, and putting it in would have been legal suicide. Meek's not just another rapper out here. He's a powerful name, protected by major money, connections, and some of the sharpest lawyers in the game. Including that kind of unconfirmed evidence could have landed both 50 and Netflix in a courtroom mess that lasted years. At the end of the day, 50 didn't move out of fear. He moved smart. This wasn't about emotions or favoritism. It was about protecting the project from getting buried under lawsuits. Sometimes, in this industry, silence isn't weakness, it's survival.